Peace, stars. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Knicks podcast. I haven't done a podcast in a minute. I've been doing the Knicks at the half, so please tune in for that, man. But right now, as you see at the bottom, the blueprint. What could this episode possibly be about, man? This is all about Knicks, man. So, without further ado, the Knicks podcast. This is the blueprint episode. It is what it is. Let's go. So we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This Dire Knicks podcast. Yeah, man. I see a lot of people complain, man. Knicks fans are some of the most fickle fans. After a loss, we were ready to get rid of everybody. After a win, we're ready to crown guys, MVPs, and ready to do this, that, and the other with the roster. But here's the thing, right? I pulled up the Knicks roster. We can just do this. I like to go with points, right? Uh, Julius Randle right now is averaging 23 points. Alec Burke is averaging 20. RJ is averaging 15. Alfred is giving us 12. And then everybody else 9, 7. That's good production from the bench there. We have a decent bench. We have a decent group of starters or like bulk of the minutes type players. What I'm getting at is these numbers are not going to stay the same. Some of these numbers might go up. Some of these numbers might go down. So this is not the bulk of what I'm trying to say. The thing is, right, the Knicks are trying to build a culture, right? What is the culture consist of? The culture does not consist of, oh, we got to sign somebody to get the culture, sign a player to give us the culture. Tom Thibodeau doesn't necessarily bring us the culture, all by himself. It takes a collection of things, man. It starts off with the front office. I'm just gonna run down the thing. Like, it started with Phil Jackson for me because Phil Jackson got James Dolan out of the equation. Then fast forward, Steve Mills. Steve Mills brought in Scott Perry. Scott Perry eventually got Steve Mills fired. So from Scott Perry gave us a branch to Leon Rose. They sat together at the Garden. These guys are setting the foundation for whatever. Next thing you know, Walter Perrin is here. Go down the line to all the other different executives. The guy that we got from Cleveland, the guy that we got from OKC, the guy that we got from Brooklyn. That all sets the table for the front office, right? Going to the coaching staff, we sat together. Tom Thibodeau, I'm quite sure, had his hands in the mix of all this as well, behind the scenes without being officially signed. Anyway, Tom Thibodeau is signed. They work out the coaching staff. Woodson had to be there. They wanted to bring Woodson back. They actually wanted to bring him as a head coach. But aside from bringing back like nostalgia, from the Melo era, it's just the fact that Woodson is a good basketball coach as far as player development, getting guys organized, and a branch to lead to whatever the head coach is doing. Tom Thibodeau agreed to Johnny Bryant being the assistant coach. That's the guy that I think the Knicks are probably grooming because the guy's only 35 years old. So we got Johnny Bryant in the mix. Then, of course, everyone's favorite Major Payne, Major Payne from Kentucky. He's the Kentucky Whisperer. But aside from all that, the guy's a great developmental basketball coach, man, especially with the big men. And shout out to Johnny Bryan with the guards. We have a collection of basketball minds in the coaching staff, front office, and everything. That sets the table for what's going on with the Knicks on the basketball court. So say what you want to say about the Knicks in the basketball court. Like I said, I got these stats here. I mentioned the numbers as far as points, but as far as play, right? Playing on the basketball court. Right now, we all wanted Julius Randle gone because of the spin move. We wanted Elfrid Payton back because he can't hit the three. The thing is, the way that we're playing right now, Julius Randle is being like the head facilitator. He's doing a lot of dribbling. He's doing everything, rebounding, dribbling, and this, that, and the other. What it does is it sets in place, not necessarily a figurehead, but just a focal point of how the offense is going to function. Now, Obi Toppin is kind of the same type of player. We don't know if he's going to develop into being a rebounder or whatever, but that's not the point in this. The thing is, we have to build a winning culture. How do we do that? We can't do that by praying that if I give this guy minutes, this is what's gonna happen. Oh, he's eventually gonna be that. How you win championships is you get talent. You have a coaching staff. You have a style of play that you implement that was implemented from up top, Everyone's in agreement, and you go from there. Tom Thibodeau got Julius Randle playing his best basketball. So I mean, that's in itself. Plug RJ Barrett in there in the mix. And then you go from there. You needed a shooter. You got Alex Burke, somebody that could ball handle and shoot. That's somebody that you put there. That is Alex Burke not necessarily might not be the guy that's going to be the starter for the next 5-10 years, but what he is a stamp into like what we need from that position, what works. Alex Burke definitely fits that bill at the shooting guard position. Like I said, RJ Barrett, prototypical forward in this NBA, man. He's not a big time ball handler. I know a lot of people want him to develop his handle. He's not going to be Tyreek Evans. Shout out to my brother-in-law. He's not going to be Tyreek Evans. He's RJ Barrett. He's basically a small forward in today's NBA. So eventually he's going to get there. That's where he's going to be at. As far as the center's position, Mitchell Robertson, we went and got Nerlens Noel for a reason. Has nothing to do with Kentucky, but the simple fact that the skill set and what we want for the position, that's what we want as far as Noel. We need Mitchell Robinson to catch up to that. The potential for Mitchell Robinson is great, but the thing is what we want to do, we want to have a skilled power forward, as a focal point, because I mean nobody else does what Julius Randle does from that 4 spot in the manner in which he does. With the 7 assists, he's always averaged 3 assists throughout his career. He's always been hinting at the fact that he's a facilitator. Tom Thibodeau unlocked that. Especially with probably telling the guy how to get in shape, what type of shape he needs to be in, because I have a role for you. That's another thing. These are all roles. This is the blueprint. Shout out to Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton is starting. Everyone hated that. I hated that too. After those first 2 games, I was ready to waive the guy. I didn't care who we were going to put out. I was just hoping that Austin Rivers will come back. But the thing is, Elfrid Payton brings a certain leadership experience. You know what I'm saying? Elfrid Payton was only signed to a 1-year contract. The whole point of him is same thing as Alex Burke. You stick a guy in a position and say, listen, this is how you function in this offense. Elfrid Payton is gonna here. It gives you a spot where you can be like, okay, if I go to that team, I can fit in that spot because I can hit the 3. I can do some of the same things that Elfrid does and better. So somebody that could play, maybe we can insert them in there. We're gonna have $63 million to spend next year. So a player that's watching the Knicks, watching Elfrid Payton and this and the other, they could see themselves in his shoes and how he would fit in the system. So that's something that's very important, man. Reggie Bullock's starting right now. The reason why he's starting is we have injuries and stuff like that. But it's the blueprint. Kevin Knox is not starting. Why? Because Kevin Knox cannot prove that he's better than what Reggie Bullock is doing. They essentially are the same player, except Kevin Knox, of course, is taller and he has the potential. But potential to win basketball games, man. Right now, we are setting the foundation to for how we want to win as an NBA team, man. So, Reggie Bullock is here for a reason. Kevin Knox has to prove that he's good enough to get up there. He hasn't done it yet. Still a long season, still a young career, man. But I mean, either you're gonna do it or you're not. This is his 3rd year, and he's still basically doing the same thing. Shout out to Tom Tibb again. Tom Tibb gave Kevin Knox a role. Same thing with Julius Randle. He gave Julius Randle a role, something to prepare for when the season started. Kevin Knox, he was raving about him in practice and stuff like that. Kevin Knox is a practice guru. He loves to practice. He does well in practice. But all those skills that he does and that he displays in practice needs to show up on the basketball court for regular season games. It's still not there yet, man. He really is just a role player. So it's really kind of like overstating what's going on with him. But like I said, RJ Barrett more than likely is going to be in that spot in the small forward spot. So I mean, this is all painting the picture for what could happen in going forward. Austin Rivers, he's been talking about playing the right way, trying to set up how we're going to play. Playing tough, playing hard. This is all foundational stuff that they're trying to implement here. Austin Rivers, like I said, he's been the mouthpiece of Tom Thibodeau, and it's beautiful. Right now, Austin Rivers, to me, is cemented in that backup guard spot. It could be point guard, shooting guard. That's what he does. Hard-nosed guy that knows the game, guy that doesn't need to practice. He just shows up to the game and just plays. Somebody like that. is a plug and play. That's an example of how this could work for us going forward. Austin Rivers saw the potential of the Knicks, saw a spot for him that's wide open, and right now that spot is his. I don't think there's anybody on the Knicks roster right now that could take Austin Rivers' spot away, and he knows it too. He did the Knicks a favor by signing that contract that gives the Knicks the option to keep Austin Rivers for the next 2 seasons after this season, 2 more seasons, because Austin Rivers see the potential of what this team could be. And also the $3 million doesn't stranglehold the Knicks at all, because if Austin Rivers does become something more, which I doubt it, man, because I mean Austin Rivers is 28 years old. He is what he is. So I mean $3 million is about right for somebody that's going to be in that spot. So that's the thing. He could see himself in that spot, so he doesn't mind taking the three whatever million. He doesn't mind doing that because he could see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is winning. Everybody that's worth their worth in goal as far as basketball, they want to win. You know what I'm saying? So Austin Rivers was the first one to say, I could fit in that spot. I'm going to go there. Tom Thibodeau's there. Let's go build something. So it is what it is. Shout out to, like I said, shout out again to Julius Randle. He got himself into shape, prepared for for his role. Shout out to Alex Burke, same role as Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers mentioned that him and Alec Burke talked about their the potential of coming to the Knicks and doing whatever. Alec Burke right now to me is good enough to be our starting shooting guard. But like I mentioned before, that is just a blueprint of what can work here. People keep talking about Levine. Trading for Levine is not the right thing to do, man. Because I mean, Levine is not the end all. At the position, we can improve it. But we just have to let that play out as time goes on. As far as the backups and stuff, Emmanuel quickly already emerged as the darling in the backcourt to be the backup point guard over guys like Frank Ntilikina and DSJ. Those are two guys right now that we can't speak on anymore. Those two guys are just not going to be here. Maybe Frank is always going to have a spot because he could play defense, but as Tom Thibodeau pointed out, he's just going to be like a situational player. If we need him, we'll put him in. He's got to stay ready. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be very important in the building of this team as time goes on. Some of these other guys, Jared Harper, he's been getting minutes over Frank, and some of these guys. So it's very interesting, man. I know we got Teal Pinson, all that other stuff. Those guys are irrelevant. What's relevant is the pieces that we have in place all around this roster that we can plug and play certain players. Last night at the post-game show with Sim and the guys on Nothing But Knicks, we talked about Kyle Lowry. I know Kyle Lowry is a little long in the tooth. He's old, right? But imagine Kyle Lowry taken and put right into Elfrid Payton's spot. Everything that Elfrid Payton is doing wrong is what Kyle Lowry's strengths are. Even though he's old or whatever, we don't need Kyle Lowry to give us 20 and whatever. We need him to fill a spot, a role on his team. Same thing with Alec Burke. Alec Burke, he's giving us 23 and 3. He's never done that before in his career. The potential for him to come back, is high. But it gives us a spot where we can like guys can see I could fit in that spot. So imagine, like, I know we talked about Oladipo and stuff. Excuse me, Oladipo just came off an injury, but he's been playing well this year. For shits and giggles, somebody like Oladipo could say, "Yo, I could fit in that spot. I could do what Alec Burks is doing. I could see myself fitting there." So you can now you can plug and play Kyle Lowry into the point guard spot because Tom Thibodeau's a lot of different attractions to this team now. Got guys to pass to. Julius Randle. Julius Randle's a willing passer. He's going to pass it back to me. Shout out to Oladipo. He gets a guy similar to him in that spot at the 2. Now you got 2 guys that are decent added to the current roster that we already have. Like I said, RJ slated at the 3. Julius Randle's still here at the 4. And then you got Mitchell Robertson at the center. So I mean, right now that's just an upgrade on talent already. And with that $63 million, Kyle Lowry's not going to get $40 million a year. Oladipo's not going to get $40 million a year. So I mean, between those 2 guys getting whatever they're going to get, the Knicks are going to have change left over. We might end up doing something similar to this. Like I said, I'm just using these names just for whatever. But I mean, just the whole point of what I'm trying to say here is that the Knicks, through Tom Thibodeau, through the front office, through the coaching staff, we did something where we made a blueprint for success of how the Knicks are going to be able to move forward, playing basketball and stuff. So I mean, like it's very important for me to get that message out for Knicks fans, because like I said, we're just a very fickle fan base. Everyone likes to complain and argue and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, like yo, fam, we're talking basketball again. When was the last time we was able to talk basketball? So it's always been like some kind of drama, or it's always been like oh, we need to play the kids, or we need to get this guy minutes, we need to do that, we need to trade for this person, this, that, and the other. The real thing is, it always has been, it's been about the Knicks. Getting ourselves together in the front office, getting ourselves together in the coaching staff, and getting our cap situation together. All of that is in place. So right now, the only thing there is to do is to talk basketball. So I mean, like, talk about highlights and stuff like that. Watch highlights. A lot of guys claim to be Knicks fans but don't watch games. Watch the highlights if you wish. It doesn't take much to see. Look at any highlight, you can see the Knicks are playing. They're running an offense. On defense, they're moving together. There's a game plan in defense. We're not gonna go 72-0, so we're gonna lose some games. But I mean, as far as plug and play, guys are basically sending everyone down the middle to Mitch, and collapsing on them, and kind of like forcing them to shoot the three. If they do that, the Knicks do change their defense, where they do swarm up top, but they didn't really do it that much in Toronto, because Toronto just overwhelms you with the amount of threes that they shoot. Which is a sucky game of basketball. Luckily, we don't play against them again for this first half of the year. But I mean, look at other teams and how we play them. It's just great, man. Plug and play again. Some of these other guys that are better than whatever, that are free agents and stuff like that. These guys can now plug and play into different spots. Nerlens Noel is not the end all at the backup center. Mitchell Robertson is not the end all at the starting center. So we can also look to upgrade that spot as well. Because we do have the assets to do so. So, and then also I want to comment on the draft picks. We got two of them, two lottery picks in next year, two potential lottery picks. The Knicks could be trash. Everything that I'm saying could be just bullshit, and the Knicks can end up losing, get into the lottery, and then we can potentially get a top 3 pick or whatever. Dallas is going to be straight trash, because Kristaps, they're talking about him not coming back until February now. That's it, because they don't have anybody else that's going to help Luka, and Luka's kind of not really having the greatest beginning of the season right now. So Dallas, they're going to be a lottery team also. So it's potential we can have 2 lottery picks. Imagine if we was to get top 2 picks. Stranger things have happened. Could you imagine that? Aside from that fantasy thing, the last time I checked, I think like Dallas was like potentially get the 5th, and I think we're like at like number 9 or something like that, or whatever it is right now. Could you imagine getting that type of with the talent that's in this draft? I can go from 1 to 15, and I can give you a great basketball, a great college basketball player 1 through 15. So if the Knicks can get anywhere in that lottery, there's a potential to get 2 more reinforcements. Not to mention the free agents that I mentioned in this pod. So here's the thing, guys. I just want Knicks fans to get organized. Stop talking about what could happen, or stop talking about the like a narrative that's like so off the wall that's like what are you talking? You're not talking basketball. You have to get back to talking basketball. That's what we do. New Yorkers talk basketball. All this other drama shit, that's not shit that New Yorkers do. That's ESPN nonsense. That's us falling victim to whatever the beat writers want us to talk about, so we can click their links and read their newspapers. You know what I'm saying? We had to stop that. We had to get back to the barbershop days, get back to your crew room days, the water cooler. We got to get back to that, and bring New York basketball back. It's that's our duty as Knicks fans. I know the Knicks have their duty to do. They have to build the team, all this other stuff, the culture, winning, and this, that, and the other. We are very much a part of that right now. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the arena right now, but it doesn't matter. That we're still out here making podcasts, making content, and we're all out there in the mix in this conversation. So it's very important for us to get on board with what's happening, and see the future, see the bigger picture, see the blueprint. The what's going on right now. You might not like certain players, but nobody signed. None of these guys that you're complaining about are signed to any gaudy contracts. We didn't re-sign anybody to no extension. These guys are on 1-year deals, $5-6 million Guys pissed that in like a few games. Some guys make 1 million a year. I mean, 1 million a game. And 1 million a home game. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine that? So I mean, like we just got to get our stuff in order as far as Knicks fans, and just a fan base, and just really enjoy the process. I hate saying that. Enjoy the process, enjoy the building, because greater things are to come for us, man. And we just have to not necessarily be patient, because it's happening right now. So shout out to Sportscaster and YouTube. I'm gonna see who's talking here. We got Payback Carter. Payback Carter's always showing love. Yo, Eru, what's good? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody, man. This is the first podcast for the year. I'm gonna start staying busy. Once again, I said, I do the Die Hard Knicks at the half. So look for me at all the halftime games for the Knicks. I know halftime shows are not the wave, but I mean, a lot of times when stuff is happening during the game, you might think of something, and then by the end of the game, you change your whole mind. So if you watch the show, you might see guys from the NBK on there. You're gonna see Knicks community. You're gonna see State of the New York Knicks. You're going to see Guard Up Knicks. You're going to see a bunch of different guys in here with me giving their opinion. And then you can call these guys out at the end, for whatever show that they do after the show here, man. So tune in for that, man. He traded Zach LaVine before, when he traded for what's it the guy that's in Miami right now. That's young RG Barrett clone right there. Yeah, well, he did trade for him before, but it is what it is. I hope they don't trade. I hope they don't trade for LaVine, because I don't want to give up any assets. We're not going to give up any draft picks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not giving obviously the 21 draft pick. I'm not giving that one. I'm not going to give any future draft picks either, because not this draft. The draft after that, we're going to have 18-year-olds and first year college players in the draft. So I'm not giving up any draft picks. So Zach LaVine can stay where he is. That's how I really feel about that. Yeah, man. Nice to listen to someone that makes sense. Thank you, man. This kind of like I'm just putting these podcasts together because I just actually did a show with State of New York Knicks. Look out for that audio podcast, State of New York Knicks, featuring Dire Knicks podcast. That should be up tonight or tomorrow morning, man. So looking for that. We had a nice conversation. Same thing like how we're doing now, but just going back and forth with him, because Slizzy, he has like a way of looking at it, and I have a way of looking at it. So we came together and whatever. So it was kind of cool, man. And it's also like Jimmy Butler, man. Thank you for that. My mind's like I'm absent-minded, but I mean it's a beautiful thing when Knicks fans can get together, man. So that's like I said, the blueprint for success then doesn't necessarily have to do with what's happening on the court. Of course, that's important, but as it's building, it's very important for us to stay motivated and stay focused on the task at hand, and and just be ready, because our time is coming, man. We got Captain Slim here. We need playmaking, 3-point shooting. League is not a slashers league right now. RJ's a slasher. This is what everyone's saying. We need 3-point shooters and stuff like that. So what do you want to happen? What do you want to happen right this minute? Is there any 3-point shooters available for us to pick up off the waiver wire? Are you prepared to trade some of the guys that we have? If our guys are not that good, what makes other teams want to have these players that we have to trade? Like Zach LaVine. Everyone's we should get Zach LaVine, but who are we trading to get Zach LaVine? RJ Barrett's got to be on the table, and at least a future draft pick or something's got to be on the table, because Zach LaVine is not a bum. Zach LaVine is a good player in this NBA. So we're not going to get him for Alfred Payton, and Alec Burke. That's not going to happen. We're going to have to throw something else in there to get that. So I mean, 3-point shooting, like I said, who are we going to get when it comes to that? And are you prepared to scrap the future just to get 3-point shooting this year? Like I said, the whole point is the blueprint. We do need 3-point shooting. So I mean, like teams can say, they need 3-point shooting. Hey, maybe I can play for them next year. See what else you're saying there. Play the season out and just play the patient game through the draft. Yeah, man. Well, I also want to win this year, man. I have a strong feeling that this current Knicks team, we can probably get into that playing tournament at the end. I'm talking about 10th seed, not necessarily fighting for the 10th seed, but just playing our game. If like I said, if Alec Burke is healthy, he should be back on Saturday. To me, I like to have Austin Rivers off the bench. I would love to have Alec Burke starting with RG, because I feel like they play good together. I like, Alfred Payton at the time being, he's got to be the starter, but he's going to split minutes with between Quickly and Austin Rivers at that point guard spot. It is what it is. He's just not good. So we can't put so much emphasis on his faults, because he does do things well. Julius Randle, we need him to do what he's been doing. He's in great shape. We need him to be the facilitator. We need him to be the rebounder, and we need him to be a bully for us, scoring inside and stuff. He's also been shooting the three pretty well too. So shout out to him. He's been having like a in the short season, like an MVP season for like the first 4 games of this year, man. So we need him to do that. Mitchell Robinson is a game to game basis, man. He needs to learn how to speak. He needs to learn how to be an anchor down there. That's the next stage in his personal development. And like I said, there's players looking to say, yo, I could do that. I could fit in that spot where Nerlens Noel is there. Maybe I might not take $5 million, but I'll go there and I can improve that center spot. This is all plug and play stuff that the league can see of the potential of coming to the Knicks and how they could be successful. Because nobody's going to come here to be the laughing stock. That's been the case throughout the last 20 years. Nobody wants to come here for them to do to them what they did to Melo and what they did to Kristaps and what they did to whoever came here. Nobody wants to be put in that position. So I mean, but if there's a game plan in place where it could be plug and play, where listen, I could fit here. Let me call my man. Yo, what you think about going to the Knicks, bro? We can do this. We can do that. They got money. This is all very important, man. So it is what it is as time goes on, man. We could possibly win 30 games. Yeah, we could win 30 games, but like I'm trying to say, putting numbers on these games, yo, we can win 30 games, we can do this, that, and the other. That's something that we kind of need to get off of. We just need to just play. Wherever we fit in, we fit in. If it's 30 games, that's cool. But this the focus about, yo, we can win 30 games. Oh, yo, we should win 32 games. We're only gonna win like 20. So that mentality is all negative, man. We have to get off of it. We have to really focus our energy on what's happening on the basketball court. Wins and losses is gonna come how they're gonna come. Of course, we need shooting. Of course, we need some people like to say, oh, this is a players league. We need to this, that, and the other. Yes, all that is true. But the most important thing is the foundation that we lay down, and how guys can fit in from the outside looking in. Yeah, man. So it's the Knicks podcast, man. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm gonna start to drop podcasts a little bit more frequently. My time right now looks like 9:00, so look out for Dire Knicks going live 9:00, and of course, these podcasts will be saved and be able to watch in your leisure, man. So support the kid. Give me those thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, all that stuff, man. And I see you guys on the next one, Dire Knicks podcast. Thank you. Payback card as always. My man here. I'm not good at pronouncing your name, man, so I'm sorry. I throw you up there. You got Captain Slim. Once again, shout out to Sportscaster. And I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Dire Knicks out. Peace. Oh, 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking your thumb salute. There you go. All right, now we out.